They are
Right.
saying thank and they're writing and they're and they're standing and they're I'll tell you
Exactly.
students one of my past students is now a chief of police, and there is nothing that I like the best when I hear him stand up and make an address, to a public address. And I always tell him, boy, you just make my teaching days and all of us who taught you, because he enunciates, he expresses himself, and I mean, it makes my heart glad that that is what we sent into society.
There
Now
you
this
go.
is not something that happens quickly and easily. So when people like this man, this whatever Mr. Mav, whatever he is, who does not understand this, when you put a square peg in a round hole, all he comes to do is to hurt the wound, is to
Exactly.
make the wound worse. So to finish, let me say what, and I don't think they will do it because of the political atmosphere, the political agenda that is in education today. But if they're able to take this back, we need to go back and wipe out all of this dirt, all of this mess, and find our children again, every one of them, and break that cycle from school to prison. And that's
Moses,
all.
thank you so kindly for calling in as usual, Moses, and you're absolutely correct. The parents got to take control, and the voters got to take control, and as Howard would say, vote them out. Let's go to Johnny. Thank you very much, Moses. Johnny, come on in.
I wasn't originally going to call in for about education before I make my original point about the whatever it was I was going to talk about. But
All right, Johnny, come on, get your mind together, Johnny.
I know I'm so frustrated. What do George Herbert Walker Bush, Mike Miles, and current New York City Mayor Adams have in common?
Man, you always come with these difficult questions. What is it, Johnny?
Okay, they're all authoritarian, and they all have big problems, what I consider anti-constitutional, anti-democratic mindsets.
Gotcha.
As you know, George Herbert Walker Bush was a
Yes.
CIA director, and look what happened under his presidency. And then his son, when his son got in, the mayor, New York City mayor, just instituted that drone program. He was
Yes.
a police captain, authoritarian. Now,
Yes.
Mike Miles, another Uncle Tom, as your previous caller has indicated. I agree with that. These people, you point out he has a military background, and from what I could tell, he's using authoritarian tactics. Why? Because he's a Republican planted by a Republican governor. Hello. Now,
Yes.
that's my original reason for calling. God, this is so frustrating.
Okay, now, forget the frustration and tell me what was your second point that you were calling about, my brother.
I wish I could remember. Maybe I'm jealous. He's got a ponytail and he's Native American. And when I look in the mirror, I look like a goddamn Republican.
Well, let me tell you. I tell you what. Let me go to Harry, and you give me a call back if you remember. Okay.
I'll try to do that.
All right, brother. Let's go to Senor Harry. Come on in.
Buenos dias,
My same birthday guy. Buenos dias, hermano. Talk to me.
Yes, I loved your show earlier, and I like your show right now. I just want to give.
Well, with Steve Hunter will be back tomorrow. Our brother is going to be back doing what he needs to do.
I love talking with him as well, but I want to give a shout out to Roberto, to Will, to Augie, to the mayor,
Moses.
all those people. They nailed it just right. And I also want to bring up the fact that the man you were talking about there a little while ago, when you called the Batman, was Joe Clark.
Yes, Joe Clark. Exactly. Thank you, brother. Joe Clark, Batman. You're right.
My aunt Ruby, she's a retired teacher as well, and unfortunately, she's in an old folks home because she's just old and has dealt with problems. But she taught in Providence, Rhode Island, and she met Joe Clark. when all that stuff was going on in the 80s.
Good.
So
I'm
what's up?
glad. Well, look, I'm glad that you called to tell me the name. I have Alva on the other line, Harry, and we're running out of time. So give me a quick closer.
Okay, well, I'll tell you some more about. I'll tell you. There was one more point I wanted to make about the movie.
Yes, sir.
What Morgan Freeman said. Can I make that point?
Yes, sir. Please do.
He said in that movie, he says to the teachers when he had that meeting, he said, "This is this is a place of learning, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have the proper environment to learn, how can you teach?"
There you go. I love it, and I love the passion with which you said it, Harry. Thank you so kindly for calling in, brother. Have a good one.
That's one of my favorite movies.
All right, brother. All right. Peace out.
Take care, and tell Jack and Howard I said hi, and keep that smooth jazz music going because KPFT.
All right. Harry, your exit is so long. Harry, your exit is so long. Thank you, brother. I love you. Let's go to Alva. Come on in, Alva.
Yes, and it's Arva.
Arva.
Anyway,
apologies.
I am not in the HISD school district, but I want to know where are the books that are being banned going, and if the libraries are being closed, where are those books going? Because the taxpayers paid for those books.
Wow, it's interesting that is I've never even thought about asking that question, but you know what, Arba, you are correct. I have no idea. Maybe if the superintendent will call into the show, we will actually have an answer to that. But that is a very, very good point. We paid for it. I hope we're not going to waste it, right?
Yes. And maybe there's a way for the communities to get those books because they're the taxpayers' dollars that bought them.
You're absolutely right. I've got to concur. Let me ask you something, Arva. This is important. You said you're not in HISD, but are you in Texas?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you why I asked you that. And this is for every Texan listening, whether they're in Houston Independent School District or not. This was a state takeover, which means this was done in your name as well. So you have agency in this. You have agency in the Houston Independent School District takeover by what I call generously a fascist takeover. So Arva, you have just as much right as anybody else, given that this was done in your name.
Yes, and it's by design, and it's the first nail in the coffin.
There you go.
For public education.
There you go. And folks, remember, and this is important, Arva, and I constantly stress this. This could not be done without the help of one of our own within HISD, and that is Harold Dutton, who laid the foundation for this final push to take over this district by the governor of Texas, who loves us so much. So it's important for folks to understand that. Yes. Thank you so kindly for calling in, Arva. And let's jump to Johnny for a quick one. Johnny, this got to be quick because I got somebody right after you. Come on in, brother Johnny. What you said you remembered. Talk to me.
I did, and I wrote it down. How's about that?
I love that, brother.
We've got another calendar year plus another 4+ months before we see the next inauguration, assuming there's an election and there's no riots in the streets. So
right.
January 2025, that's a year and 4 months from now. And then we have to wait another year to the following year, 2026, for the so-called drug negotiation crisis.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
So you think about this. You know goddamn well that one or more of these mega pharmaceutical companies are going to launch
an attack. Yes.
At the 11th hour when you least expect it, and that's why they allow.
Hey, Johnny, it's not going to be least expected because you just called it. All right? It's not going to be when they least expect because we are going to be ready. Johnny just called it. Johnny, let me go to Robert, but let me tell you, Johnny, you just called it.
But Joe Biden doesn't listen to Johnny. Joe Biden don't give a care about.
No. Johnny, we're not asking Joe Biden to listen to you. We are asking all voters to listen to you, who will then be listened to by Joe Biden. Thank you, Johnny. You have a great one, my brother, Mayor. All right. Let's go to Robert. Come on in. Robert, you're on. Robert, you're
with the People's News. I know
okay.
You guys don't really news here, but I just wanted to get something covered. It was the fact that Mills is those books that the lady just called about. They're not being thrown away. They're not being put away. They're being put in the back of the school. They're not being the books that she was talking about, as far as the ones that are banned, they're still in the library. They'll still be there. If you want to check them out, you still can check them out if you want. So there's a lot of misnomers with the whole library deal. It's not every school either. It's only the schools that are in the NES that are part of the the library being closed down, so to speak. Will that be for all the schools? No, that's a question. That's the question I asked Bill.
Well, we actually know what the name of the schools are, and the schools turn out to be all schools run under, again, mostly people of color. So that's what it is, period. And again, go ahead.
Yeah, but the aspect of what Mills is doing, and, I interviewed him like a couple of times now, and my whole question to him is, where's the money going to come from? He has a lot of ideas of what he wants to do with the school district. These ideas come with funding, and again, there's no funding. So,
brother, let me tell you something about the Houston Independent School District. I'm in the Humble Independent School District. The Houston Independent School District per capita is much richer than our district. It's a rich district, and even with it's reverse Robin Hood or whatever they call it, the monies are there. We are.
I would like to actually get that information from, because the money is not there. Humble ISD. I would ask the question. I did this last week. Was we're in a school crunch right now with all the schools around the state, but we have Katy just built an $80 million stadium. Cy Fair, Cy Creek, McKinney.
You just answered You just answered the question right there, sir. I said the money was there. It's how it's allocated.
What?
You answered the question that I posed before. You made valid the question I said, the statement I made before, that the money is there. The question is how it is allocated. There's a whole lot of big pots, and what we do is we create laws and restrictions, etc., that actually give the semblance of scarcity of money for these districts. Let's give an example. The budget itself for the state of Texas had a $30-something billion surplus. You know what was done with that this session? I mean, there are a lot of issues that are intertwined that we choose to separate for the sake of the way we talk about things. When we put them together in the proper context, it makes a huge bit of difference. Like I said, HISD. Go ahead.
Ernesto, but
Egberto, come on, hermano, Egberto.
What? Who?
It's not Ernesto, it's Egberto.
Okay, whatever. But the money that you're talking about, I'm not defending the governor at all on this. It's just the fact that the governor and his Republican cronies have decided that education is not an important issue.
Agreed.
Because of what they feel are election ploys and what they need to buy votes, so to speak.
Agreed.
And what gets them votes is immigration. So that's what their focus is on. Even though they spilled billions of dollars right now on sending kids to New York, LA, and whatever else, and they've spent
30 seconds.
Another $1 million on the border, their Lone Star program.
You got 10 seconds. 10 seconds, amigo. Before I got to cut.
I'm done.
All right. Hey, thank you very much for calling in. Good information from the People's News. Thank you, my brother. All right. Anyway, folks, I got to get out of here. Steve Hunter will be back mañana. It's my honor to have sat in the seat for Steve for a minute. I want to let you guys know. Thank you so kindly for listening to the show once again. My name is Egberto Willis, sitting in to UTALK for Steve Hunter. And you know, we are going to get out of here right now.
You're clear, Alberto.
Thank you.